Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Fanie Naude here, and welcome to another one of my Monday videos. So today we're going to be announcing a quick short series for this week on getting clients online. Now the reason we're doing this is just to create a little bit more excitement and promotions for our 40K in 4 weeks workshop that's starting next week. So we decided, well, the best way that we know how to promote and advertise is to give value up front, to build that trust, to build that relationship. So for the next few days, I'm going to bring out a video every single day that's going to be covering the step-by-step guide on how to get clients online. So if this is something that you're interested in, please stay tuned, because this is going to be a quite short, to the point, step-by-step guide on how you can get clients online. So let's jump right in. So starting off with our first episode, this is going to be episode 1, choose your target market or niche. If you've been following what I've been doing for the last couple of years, you know I've been beating this to death for quite a while, but let us reiterate and show you exactly why we think about, you need to choose your market first and all of those sort of things. So the first thing that you need to realize is, with any sort of business venture or entrepreneurial venture, is you need to choose who you want to work with. That's the first step. If that isn't your first step, and your first step is to think about an idea in the shower, it's most probably not going to work. Those ideas doesn't work if they don't have a market's needs and desires behind that idea. Solving specific problems or pains for someone or anything along those lines. You'll see a lot of tech companies and app developers and all of that just fail right off the bat because they thought about this brilliant idea in the shower. They built out the entire idea, but they never thought about who is the customer, who's the client, who's the buyer. So this is a thing that the billionaire Glenn Stern says as well, is find your buyer first. This is very, very important, because you don't want to be struggling with sales and struggling to sell your product, because if you went and you developed an offer and services and everything around this one idea, you want to be assured that there's someone going to buy this. You don't want to be going out and convincing people and really doing some pushy sales to them just to buy your offer or your services, because they don't really need it. So that's why we start off with choose your target market or your niche first. Now this is very, very important, and it's not as easy as just, okay, I want to work with lawyers, or I want to work with accountants, or I want to work with them. No. This is more about thinking about it as business foundations that you need to put in place first, and it's not about just choosing someone. It's about balancing 3 different forces. Now the first one is your passion, meaning who you want to work with. Who do you love working with? Do you have a certain affinity towards a certain group of people? Do you like lawyers more than accountants? Or do you like manufacturing companies more than, let's say, marketing companies? It's about who you want to work with, and we always start with that, because at the end of the day, you're going to work with these people every single day. Because if you build a business around this and become successful and you get all of those clients online, you're going to be dealing with these people on a daily basis, delivering service to them, marketing towards them, creating content for them. All of those sort of things is going to be directed towards them. So if you're just going to choose, let's say, for example, doctors, because they have a lot of money, and you don't actually have a passion working with them, and you don't really like them, you're going to become extremely negative very, very fast in your business, and you're going to be like, after 1 to 2 years, you're going to be like, I want to change niches. I'm so over it. I don't want to do this anymore, just because you did not choose your ideal clients. So that's why we say, first choose who you want to work with, then do the research. Now the research is for the market's needs and desires. What are they struggling with? You want to ask that question. What are they struggling with, or what do they want to achieve? This is so important that you understand them and their needs, because you want to create an offer of services towards that specific needs that they want, because this is how you choose the buyer first. If they say, we have a problem with this, set A to B, and you come and you say, okay, great, I solve A to B for you. That's going to be the easiest sell ever. Like the only objection is going to be, have you done this before? Do you know what you're doing? Because they already want a solution for that specific problem that they have. So very, very important to balance that. So the first is your passion, then the market's needs and desires, and then finally the problems or pains or challenges that you can solve with your current skill set. Now, this is not a train smash if you don't have the skill set to solve those problems for them. Because let's say, for example, you go out, you do your research, you find out, okay, you want to work with lawyers, you find out everything that you want to know, you decided, okay, instead of just lawyers, let's go for specifically advocates, and they have this one massive problem, but you don't know how to solve this. Well, if you're a new business, you're just starting up and all of those sort of things, this is not a train smash because you can upskill yourself. You can do the research to find a solution for that problem because there might not be a solution in the market, but that's where you start. Have someone else found something that's solving this specific problem for them. How have they implemented this? How have they marketed this? Has this worked in any sense of the way? But what I want to basically come down to is you can trust and back yourself that you can find a solution for this. So don't worry if you don't have the skills or the capability to solve that problem. You can upskill yourself, upskill your business to solve some really painful problems for these people. So that's what you want to be balancing: your passion, your market's needs, and the value that you want to provide, basically the problems that you want to solve, all of those sort of things. So how do you do this? How do you go and choose a niche? Where do you start off with? Okay, so we said, okay, great. The first thing is, who do you want to work with? Now the next thing is research. Very, very important that you go out and speak with these people. You cannot just sit in your little cubicle or your office and just suck all of the problems and pains out of your thumb. If you don't have extensive experience in that specific niche or industry, you most probably have no idea what they're truly struggling with. You most probably have no idea what their true wants, needs, and desires are. So these are the two things that you need to define very clearly before moving on to the next stage: is define their current situation. This is their problems, pains, and challenges. Ask them questions. What's your daily frustration? What you're going through? What are you struggling with at the moment? All of those sort of things. And then clearly define their desired situation. What are their hopes and dreams? What are the desired situation where they think, oh man, if I just get there, that's going to be perfect for me. And oh man, I want this for my family. I want to work towards this, that I can have this sort of life. And you want to know this because everything gets built on this foundation of their current and desired situations. Because once we move on to the next phase of, creating your offer and your marketing message, everything builds on this. Now, I tell you now, there's a lot of people struggling with this first step, to do the research. They're just scared to talk to people. They're so scared to just go out and talk to people. And, the best ways to research this, like in order of effectiveness, first is in person. Have a coffee. Buy them a coffee. Have a conversation. Find out how's it going with their business. Find out what they're struggling with. Have a real human face-to-face conversation and see the expressions on their face when they're telling you about what they're struggling with. You can very clearly gauge what is true problems and what's just some frustrations that they're sitting with. Then the second most effective is calling people. Calling people or having Zoom sessions, because you're still talking to them. Yes, you can't really always see. Sometimes in Zoom you can switch on the cameras and so forth, but it's not the same as in person. But you still want to hear those people telling you about frustration, because you can hear the frustration over the phone if someone's saying, oh man, I just cannot deal with this bloody system anymore. And then that's something that guy's struggling with. If you're going to later down the road market towards replacing that system with something that's very user-friendly, very convenient for the business owner, he's going to be interested. Very, very important that you build this foundation correctly. So first in person, then calling people. Now the next one is direct messages. Now this doesn't work as well. Direct messages, email, over social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, all of those sort of things, it does work. But realize the amount of messages that you're going to be sending is hundreds to almost over 1,000 messages that you'll need to send to do this research. It's so much easier to just call people or, have some conversations, because that's just so much easier than sending 1,000 messages and hoping someone replies. Then if they reply, you don't really know if how the emotions behind those problems and pains that they're giving you are. Like you cannot gauge how painful this problem is for them. So not as effective. And finally, the least effective is, reading up on the situation, reading books, reading blogs, reading everything in that industry, all the articles that the people are writing. You can get some sense of where that industry is moving or what problems they're currently facing, but it's not that human-to-human contact where you can basically feel that emotion from all those problems and pains that's coming off of them. So this is extremely important to do first. So first step to getting clients online or getting clients in general is choose your target market or niche. Once you've clearly defined who they are, what they're struggling with, what their current situation, what the desired situation is, the next step is going to be creating your offer specifically towards this, and creating your marketing message to communicate your offer to the market that you can see whether or not your hypothesis is correct. So that's going to be in our next video, but that's it for today's video. So thank you everybody for watching. Remember, this is for promoting our 40K in 4 weeks workshop. This is to launch our new community platform for accountants. Basically, the entire idea behind this is just to create the perfect conditions for accounting practice to scale up, meaning they can have weekly consultation sessions with us. We can bring in experts. We will provide the very foundational marketing platform and systems that we use for all our clients and all of those sort of things. We're going to provide that as well, along with all of the trainings that we have done and we give to all of our clients. So we really want to see how many people that we can help at one single time with this community platform. The 40K in 4 weeks workshop is just to launch this. We'll see how many clients or how many accountants that we can take, and sign up, let's say 8 clients in 1 month. This is going to be a lot of hard work, but it's going to be so exciting. We have a standard procedure, standard process that we go through. This process has been proven with our previous clients, so we know this works. So I really hope that you guys are very interested in this. Remember, check out the link in the description. Other than that, thanks everybody, and I'll see you tomorrow for our next video on your offer and your marketing message. Thanks everybody. Enjoy your day.